Hey Libra, so I just sat down with my deck because I kept getting this pull towards your energy. And honestly, what came through is pretty profound. The theme that showed up is about how people see you versus what you actually carry within you. And I have to say, the cards are revealing something really deep here. So I pulled 6 cards for you today. And what I am seeing is this whole narrative about hidden power, about lineage that goes way beyond what people can see on the surface. Let me just get into this because the energy is really clear. All right, so the first card I pulled is the 3 of Cups. And this is interesting because usually people see this card and think celebration, friendship, community vibes. But what I am getting here for you, Libra, is that people perceive you as someone who is just sociable, just friendly, just the person who brings people together. They see the surface level charm and grace that you naturally have. They see someone who is easy to be around, someone who makes connections, someone who celebrates with others. And honestly, they think that is all there is to you. They see the diplomat, they see the peacemaker, they see the person who can blend into any social situation. But what they do not realize is that this ability to bring people together, this gift for creating harmony, this is not just a personality trait. This is actually ancient power. This is the ability that rulers and empire builders had. The capacity to unite different factions, to create alliances, to build networks that span across vast territories. Your social intelligence is not surface level at all. It is strategic power that comes from a lineage of people who understood that true power is not about dominating others, but about creating systems where everyone feels seen and valued. The 3 of Cups here is showing me that what people mistake for simple friendliness is actually your inheritance from an old empire where the rulers knew that the strongest kingdoms were built on genuine connection and mutual respect. You carry this wisdom in your DNA. And people have no idea that when you walk into a room and start connecting with others, you are actually activating ancient codes of unity and collaboration. The second card is the 9 of Swords. And okay, this one is hitting different. What I am seeing here is that you have gone through periods of deep anxiety, sleepless nights, mental anguish. But here is what people do not understand about your 9 of Swords energy. This is not just regular worry. This is the weight of ancestral memory. You carry the consciousness of what happened when empires fell, when harmony was broken, when balance was destroyed. Your anxiety is not weakness. It is actually a warning system that comes from ancient wisdom. Your ancestors who built great civilizations, they knew what led to collapse. They knew what happened when injustice prevailed, when balance was ignored, when people stopped listening to each other. And that knowledge got passed down through generations, and it lives in you. So when you feel that deep anxiety, when you have those sleepless nights worrying about situations, you are actually tapping into ancient foresight. You are receiving downloads about potential futures, about patterns that need to be corrected, about imbalances that need to be addressed. The 9 of Swords for you is not torture, it is prophecy. It is your empire consciousness showing you what needs attention before things fall apart. People think you are just overthinking, but you are actually accessing wisdom libraries that exist beyond time. You are scanning for threats to harmony because you carry the responsibility of those who once held entire civilizations in balance. Now, the third card I pulled is the Devil. And listen, this is where it gets really interesting. The Devil card is often misunderstood, but for you, Libra, in this context, it is showing me your relationship with power itself. See, people think you are all about peace and harmony and beauty, right? They think you avoid conflict. They think you are too nice. They think you do not have that raw edge. But the Devil here is revealing that you absolutely understand the shadow side of power. You understand temptation. You understand manipulation. You understand the darker arts of influence. And you know what? The rulers of old empires, they were not naive. They understood human nature in its totality. They understood desire. They understood fear. They understood what motivated people in the darkness as much as in the light. Your Devil energy shows that you have access to this knowledge. You can read people's hidden motivations. You can see what they really want beneath. what they say they want. You understand the chains that bind people, whether those chains are addiction, obsession, unhealthy attachments, or limiting beliefs. And because you understand these chains, you also know how to free people from them. This is priestess-level knowledge. This is the wisdom of those who served in the temples of ancient empires, who understood both the light and the shadow, who could work with all aspects of human consciousness. People see your Libra charm and think you are innocent, but you carry the knowledge of the full spectrum of human experience. You understand power in its rawest form, and you choose consciousness over manipulation. But make no mistake, you could absolutely play the game if you wanted to. The fourth card is King of Cups, and honestly, this is making so much sense now. The King of Cups is mastery over emotional intelligence, mastery over the realm of feelings and intuition and psychic awareness. This king sits on his throne, and the ocean does not shake him because he has full command over the emotional realm. For you, Libra, this is showing that you have regal emotional intelligence. You do not just feel emotions, you understand them. You can navigate them. You can help others process them. You can create emotional stability in chaotic situations. This is leadership through emotional wisdom. In ancient empires, the greatest rulers were not just warriors or strategists. They were people who understood the human heart. They knew how to inspire loyalty, not through fear, but through genuine care. They knew how to sense the mood of their people and respond appropriately. They knew how to use emotional intelligence as a governing tool. You carry this same capacity. When you walk into a situation that is emotionally charged, you can feel everything. You can sense what each person needs, what each person feels, what the collective emotional field is asking for. And you have the maturity and the wisdom to respond in ways that create healing and resolution. The King of Cups is telling me that your empathy is not weakness, it is your crown. It is your royal inheritance. You rule through emotional wisdom, and this is the most powerful form of leadership because it creates lasting change in people's hearts. The fifth card is Eight of Cups. And okay, this one is profound. The Eight of Cups is about walking away, about leaving behind what no longer serves, about the spiritual journey towards something more meaningful. For you, Libra, this card is showing that you have the capacity to walk away from empire itself. You understand that true power is not about holding on to positions or titles or external validation. You carry the wisdom of those ancient rulers who knew when to step down, who knew when to let go, who understood that attachment to power is the beginning of corruption. The Eight of Cups shows me that you have this incredible spiritual maturity where you can be in positions of influence, you can have access to power, you can be building something significant, and yet if it no longer aligns with your soul's purpose, you can walk away. This is rare. Most people who taste power become addicted to it. But you carry the consciousness of sages and wise rulers who knew that sometimes the most powerful act is to release. You understand detachment. You understand that your worth is not tied to what you achieve or what you build or who recognizes you. Your essence exists beyond all of that. The Eight of Cups is showing that you are on a perpetual journey towards deeper truth, deeper alignment, deeper purpose. And this willingness to keep walking towards authenticity, this willingness to leave behind even golden cups if they are not your cups, this is what makes you truly powerful. You cannot be bought. You cannot be controlled. You follow your inner knowing above all else. And then the sixth and final card is Two of Swords, and this is bringing everything together. The Two of Swords is about being at a crossroads, about having to make a decision, about balancing two different paths or perspectives. The figure in this card is blindfolded, holding two swords in perfect balance. For you, Libra, this is showing that you are currently at a point where you need to make a choice about how you step into this power that you carry. The blindfold represents that you cannot rely on external validation or what others think you should do. You have to feel into your inner knowing. You have to trust your own judgment. The two swords represent two different paths. One path might be continuing to play small, continuing to let people see you as just a regular person, continuing to hide your power to make others comfortable. The other path is stepping fully into your empire consciousness, owning the fact that you carry ancient wisdom, allowing yourself to lead with the full force of your spiritual inheritance. The Two of Swords is saying that you need to make this choice consciously. You need to decide whether you are going to keep your swords lowered or whether you are going to raise them and declare your sovereignty. And here's the thing, this choice is entirely yours. No one can make it for you. The universe is not going to force you into your power. You have to claim it. You have to decide that you are ready to be seen for who you really are, to stop dimming your light, to stop pretending you are less than you are. The Two of Swords is the moment of decision before action, and it is asking you to choose yourself, to choose your lineage, to choose the path of conscious leadership. So let me just recap what came through today. The cards I pulled were Three of Cups, showing how people see you as just socially graceful when really you carry ancient codes of unity. Nine of Swords revealing that your anxiety is actually ancestral wisdom and foresight. The Devil showing that you understand the full spectrum of power, including its shadow aspects. King of Cups confirming that you have regal emotional intelligence and mastery over the feeling realm. Eight of Cups demonstrating your spiritual maturity and willingness to walk away from anything that does not serve your highest path. And Two of Swords presenting you with the choice to step fully into your power or continue playing small. Libra, you are not just a regular person. You never were. You carry the essence of old empire energy, the consciousness of those who built civilizations on principles of justice, beauty, balance, and emotional wisdom. People look at you and they see charm and grace, but they have no idea about the depth of power you carry. They have no idea about the lineage you come from. They have no idea that you are activating ancient codes every time you bring people together, every time you create harmony, every time you stand for justice. The question now is, what are you going to do with this knowing? Are you going to keep letting people underestimate you? Are you going to keep hiding your power to make others comfortable? Or are you going to stand in your full sovereignty and let the world see what empire consciousness actually looks like in human form? I am really curious about what is resonating with you here. Does this match what you have been feeling? Have you been sensing that there is something more to your story than what appears on the surface? Let me know, because I feel like this is just the beginning of you remembering who you actually are.